Most of you have probably heard of cause and effect. Well, the other day, as I was scrolling across YouTube, I came across this guy, and his name is Chase Hughes. Hughes, hard to pronounce last name there. But anyways, this Chase guy, he talked about this idea of cause and symptoms. And it's a neurological idea. He is a neurologist, right? And he has kind of came up with this idea that he explained on this podcast, and it was about cause and symptoms. So what he means is this: a symptom is let's talk about someone, right? There's the person, random person, right? It's their body language, it's their tone, their reactions. Those things are symptoms. But deep down, so symptoms are like surface indicators, right? It's like, let's say I get angry or, I punch something, right? Well, deep down, I'm probably having an emotion, right? Or I believe something, like something's not good and I punch someone, right? So symptoms are caused by causes or something going down deep inside of you, like an emotion, belief, or fear, or needs, or something, or anything, really, right? And so then he goes on to explain confidence. And he says that confidence is a symptom. And that got me thinking. I feel like when people reach that level, you know how there's people on YouTube that reach that level of confidence and then they go post a YouTube video saying to be confident in yourself, you need to do this, this, and this, and this, right? Or there's other people on YouTube that post about how you need to accept yourself, you need to love yourself, you need to do emotional healing, emotional therapy sometimes, right? And most people, not that far off, because deep down it is emotional, right? Because people who aren't confident, like me sometimes, it's about how you view yourself and your emotions, right? It's how you react to your emotions or your beliefs, right? If you believe that you're not confident, then you won't be confident. You kind of got to have a deep down connection with your, I guess, your deep down emotions and your surface emotions, right? And that surface emotion being confidence. I think this is a really, you know, kind of a easier way to put stuff. I feel like it's better than cause and effect. I like symptoms, right? Because for example, doctors, right? They don't treat symptoms directly, right? They don't treat a cough. They go down deep and try to figure out what is or what's causing that cough to happen, right? That's a perfect example. Doctors do this all the time, and this is what this guy talks about. He talks about trying applying what doctors do to millions of patients, and it works majority of the time. Sometimes they get it wrong. That's understandable. We're human. We can't, you know, get everything perfect. And so I think this is a great mindset to kind of develop alongside other mindsets, right? Is don't try to treat the symptom directly. You know, don't try to treat confidence with trying to fake being confident, right? Obviously, fake it till you make it. There's some truth in that, but long term, you kind of need to have an, emotional connection and actually be confident or actually love yourself, right? So don't try to treat your emotion or you don't try to treat the symptom directly. I think a big one that everyone can relate to, even me, is TikTok and Instagram Reels, right? Videos, short form content. I've talked about this before, and it's about how humans have the natural need to want something new, want something fresh, want something entertaining in a sense, right? Not entertaining directly, but they want something, it's that newness factor, it's that unique factor, right? That's why we have art. That's why we have so many unique things in this world. And that's because of the human desire to have unique stuff and do unique stuff, right? So TikTok is a prime example of this, or any short form content, right? And these businesses kind of, at first they want people to use their platform and, post videos and be creative. But now the people that are scrolling, like me and other people, they just keep on scrolling and they know that people want to do this because it's an instinct, right? I want to search for something unique. So that's why every scroll is something unique, right? And then the symptom of that, right? The cause of this situation is that you want something unique, you want something new. The symptom is you scroll and you're on your phone for hours and hours and hours, right? You see where I kind of connect the dots. It's you have a cause and then you have a symptom of that cause, right? It's exactly like a disease, if I'm coughing, they're not going to treat my cough. They're going to try to figure out if something is wrong with my lungs, right? If I have something growing in there, or if I have something stuck in there, right? So try applying that to a couple of areas in your life. I think this is a really, really good idea. I feel like um, it's a good idea to apply to everything, but at the same time, it can be twisted. And this is what Instagram, TikTok, any kind of social media, this is what it does, It's the cause is you want to go on social media on your phone and see something new, right? Same with YouTube. YouTube has been going more to this side is you keep scrolling and trying to find something new, right? And creators are taking control of this with doing AI videos. They're kind of realizing, well, not this directly, but they're kind of realizing that, oh, people want to see a bunch of content. I feel like the quality standards of YouTube videos has kind of fallen off. That's why it's kind of a rare gem to find a good video to watch, because go back 5 years ago before AI took off, YouTube was kind of long form. It's still long form content, but like long form, deep, in-depth content, right? Now it's more AI videos, quick, fast-paced videos, kind of more quick wit, AI slop in a sense, right? That's the new term for it. And I kind of miss that. These videos are probably by far not the best quality wise, but it only gets better every time I do it, right? Or every time, if you post on YouTube, post. Do it once a week. It's simple. It keeps you in line, keeps you in check. That's what I've been doing. That's what a lot of content creators do. And I'll say find a reason to do it. I'm getting off track here. Back to cause and symptoms. I feel like a lot, this could be applied to emotions, right? And it's like, well, let's say I'm angry, right? That's a symptom of something, right? What's causing me to be angry, right? Or if, let's say I'm angry and that's the cause. Well, what's the symptom of me being angry? Well, maybe punching something, right? Or if I have a cause of being sad, then the symptom might be me crying, right? You can kind of go down like layer by layer. You can kind of peel back the layer by layer, right? And try to figure out what is causing that symptom. And that's what doctors do. I know I said that like 4 times by now, but it's true. Doctors do this every day. This is the kind of thinking that you kind of want to adopt. I'm kind of thinking about it, right? Now, obviously, some of this advice is not going to get used a lot, but just think, just ponder, think about it. Think about symptoms and causes, causes and symptoms. It's a good idea. Doctors use it, lawyers use it maybe. I don't know. I don't know if lawyers do, but this guy, Chase Hughes, he he's a neurologist, as I said before, and he's living with a brain disease. You know how scary that is when you're a neurologist and living with a brain disease? I would be scared too, because when put your whole life working to become a neurologist, you know what happens if you have a disease in the brain, right? Not good. Anyways, getting sidetracked. And he, goes on to explain all these ideas about TIA work, and that's all good. I'm starting to learn it, starting to understand it. But the main idea I took away from him was cause and symptoms. It's such a simple and easy idea to understand and take into your mind, and just like, oh, that makes sense, right? And most people aren't applying it into their day-to-day lives. And it's kind of crazy how that works, You watch YouTube for, let's say, 5 hours, 4 hours a week, and most of the stuff is probably for entertainment, but the stuff that like you actually learn, you might forget. You know, I can say this about a college degree. Obviously, medical, I'm leaving out a medical degree or anything like that. Like, I'm talking about any other degree, right? That doesn't apply that much information like medical school. Let's say for engineering. I've heard somewhere that when you graduate from mechanical engineering school, that majority of the stuff that you learn in school, you probably won't use again. And that's the same thing with high school. The main thing that they want you to, teach you is how to learn and how to learn their way. And what causes them to do that? Well, government, people, control, power, right? And what causes people to have power and control? Well, they probably emotionally are not stable, right? And that emotional instability has a symptom of them wanting power and control. And then that power and control has another symptom of, creating dictatorships, rules, school in some sense, education system, right? And see how what I just did there? That's peeling back the layers. You can go into this way deep. This is gold, pure gold, this idea. Causes and symptoms. So, next time you see someone angry, maybe it's the symptom or maybe it's the cause. Always try to figure out what causes them to feel that way. And then you know what symptoms they're having, right? Try to think from the other person's point of view. All right. I hope every one of you has a good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. And I hope every single one of you can find peace in your lifetime.